You don't have to be the smartest, the funniest, or the most accomplished person in the room to make people remember you. There is one overlooked skill that creates a lasting impact, and it's surprisingly simple. It's to become more interesting. Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm happy that you are here. This is what we're going to be talking about today. So if you are ready to learn how to become a more interesting person, then let's talk about it. For chapter 1, we need to discuss the secret to being interesting. And that is, it's not about you. Now, most people assume that being interesting means impressing everyone with your stories, your accomplishments, or even your personality. The louder you are, the more you stand out, right? Wrong. Here's the thing. Being interesting isn't about what you bring to the table. It's about how you make other people feel when they're around you, because that is the one thing that they tend to remember. So one of the fastest ways to become unforgettable is to actually flip the script. Instead of showing people how interesting you are, start by showing them how interesting they are. People naturally gravitate towards those who make them feel seen, heard, and valued. And that is the real secret. Think about it. How often do you come across someone who genuinely pays attention to you? It's rare. Most people are too busy planning on what they're gonna say next or focusing on how they're being perceived. We've all been there, trying so hard to impress other people that the conversations start to feel like a one-person show. But here's the irony. The harder you try to prove that you are interesting, the less appealing you actually come across. Why? Because the focus stays glued on yourself, and that can feel self-centered and even exhausting to the people that you're talking to. So how do you fix this? It starts with a mindset shift. Instead of being the one who needs attention, become the one who gives it. One of the easiest ways to do this is by asking better questions. Not, what do you do? Or how was your weekend? Those are surface level and predictable. Instead, go deeper. For example, if someone mentions that they're working on a project, ask them, what made you decide to start that? Or if they traveled somewhere recently, try, what was the best memory you made there? Open-ended, thoughtful questions invite people to share more about themselves and leads to richer conversations. Plus, it shows that you're genuinely curious about their life. Avoid asking yes or no questions at all costs because they are a total dead end. Now, asking great questions is only one piece of the puzzle though. The way you listen matters just as much, if not more. And this is where active listening comes into play. Most of us hear people talk while we're multitasking mentally, whether we're crafting a reply in our head or letting our attention drift thinking about dinner. Active listening forces you to stay fully engaged in what the other person is saying. One effective technique is to briefly summarize what they tell you before responding. For example, if someone shares how excited they are about a new career opportunity, you could say, that sounds like a huge milestone. So after putting in all that effort, this must feel like a big payoff for you. Reflecting back not only shows that you were paying attention, but it also clarifies the emotions and creates a sense of connection. Another underrated yet powerful tool is to remember small details. People are blown away when you bring up something that they mentioned in passing or a long time ago. Imagine this, a coworker tells you they've been working on renovating their kitchen. Weeks later, you casually ask, how's that kitchen project coming along? Those small moments of recall makes them feel like they matter to you, even when they weren't in the spotlight. It's such a simple act, but it leaves such a strong impression that most people never really attempt. Typically, it's because they don't take time to actually remember what other people say. Something that I actually learned from my dad is that every time he would meet with certain people or new people, he would write a few notes about them and what they talked about or things with their family, so that way when he would see them again, he would be able to reference his notes and ask thoughtful questions to people. It shows you listen and you care in a genuine way. Thanks, Dad. Now here's what's fascinating. All of this is backed by research. Studies in social psychology have consistently shown that people form stronger bonds with those who seem genuinely curious about their lives. Genuinely. In simple terms, being interested makes you interesting. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't require you to make dramatic changes to your personality. You don't have to suddenly become an extrovert or the most charismatic person in the world. These small habits you can practice anywhere, with anyone, and the more you use them, the more natural they feel over time. You'll start to feel people starting to gravitate towards you, not because you impressed them with all of your stories or your accomplishments, but because they felt meaningful and appreciated when they were with you. Making others feel valued is the quickest way to stand out in any room. You might forget names or faces, but you'll never forget how someone made you feel. That is what people carry with them. Here's the exciting part. What you say is only half of the equation. To truly become someone that people can't ignore, you also have to master your presence, your body language, your energy, how you carry yourself. All play a big role, and that is what we're going to be talking about next. For chapter 2, let's talk about how to build a life that makes you more interesting. Let's start with hobbies. High value hobbies like photography, cooking, painting, playing chess, or even dancing offer depth because they're personal, they take effort, and they often connect you to other people who share your interests. The key is to pursue what genuinely excites you. Hobbies offer personal joy for yourself, but they also connect you to communities of like-minded people. When you invest time in something that you are actually passionate about, it gives you not only fulfillment in yourself, but it also adds stories and insights that you can share with other people. When you try new things, you push yourself outside the comfort zone, you naturally have more things to talk about. You've built a treasure chest of moments that you can pull from. When you purposely seek out more adventurous opportunities and live a life that has creativity and passion in it, you would naturally have more stories and more perspectives to share. I've been asked more times than I can count certain things like, what's the favorite country I've ever been to? Have I ever been skydiving? And yes, what hobbies do I enjoy? Those are like 3 common questions I've been asked many times in my life. And no, I haven't been skydiving. Think of it this way. When you say yes to something new, you're not only just adding another thing to your schedule, you're unlocking new perspectives, you're meeting different kinds of people, and you're collecting experiences that will stick with you for years. And then those experiences become tools that help you connect, inspire, or simply just entertain in conversations and connections that you'll have along the way. It's important to try things too, to see what you actually enjoy. Personally, I'm about to start learning how to play chess while my parents are visiting. And also me and my girlfriends, we're gonna learn how to do macrame at a class they have locally. These may not be things that I do for long or I even enjoy, but learning the skills definitely can make for interesting conversation. Just try things. You could do it once and never have to do it again. Something that most people actually don't know about me is I like to write poetry. I've written pieces for friends before, one's just for myself, and I find joy in creating pieces of writing that rhymes and has meaning behind it all. Even my vows to my husband for our wedding was like a poem, and I just found so much fulfillment in writing. At the end of the day, it's finding things that bring you joy, whether it's something you do on your own or something you do with other people. And it doesn't even need to be something you do consistently, but it just adds on to what makes you and your life more interesting. Another way to do this is by learning things, finding a topic or a niche that interests you, and then having statistics or certain knowledge about it. It won't come up in every conversation, but it's something that you carry with you. It gives you depth. And then when it does come up, you'll have something valuable to contribute. Something that most people don't. For me, that is nutrition and fitness, partly because my background was in that industry, but also because I've spent countless hours watching documentaries and diving into different studies. Another one is psychology. I am fascinated by social psychology and understanding how people think and operate and how their brains work. And then a random one is I know a lot of facts about the Titanic. It fascinates me learning all about how that all happened, and so yeah, random stuff, but it's been brought up on a few occasions. So here's your challenge. Stop working and running on autopilot. Step outside of your bubble, find a hobby, try a new adventure, or learn something new. Go and do something that excites you or challenges you, and make room for the smaller things that just bring color into your everyday life. Just put yourself out there, Get yourself into a new community because each choice adds richness to your story. And when you start collecting all of these moments, you realize that becoming more interesting isn't about dramatic changes. It's about small intentional decisions that just add up and gives you depth and excitement to who you are. For chapter 3, I want to dive into the art of charisma and presence, because a lot of the things that make you interesting is nothing that you actually even say. While it might seem that most people are just naturally gifted with this aura, truth is charisma is a skill, and a skill can be learned. Charisma combines two powerful traits: warmth and competence. And these traits can be developed with practice. Warmth is what makes some people more approachable. It's about the quality that puts other people at ease, making them feel safe and comfortable in your presence. Competence, on the other hand, is what communicates confidence. It's the reassurance, even without saying a word, that you know what you are talking about. When these two are combined, it creates a perfect balance, an irresistible presence that makes people want to be around you. One of the easiest ways to quickly project this combination is through your body language. Start by focusing on how you present yourself when you enter a room. A confident posture, shoulders back, head held high, and chest open. That signals a sense of self-reassurance. The opposite, slouching, looking down, making yourself feel small, that sends a message that you'd rather not be noticed. The way that you carry yourself has an almost instant effect on how other people perceive you. It's like this. It's simple, but it's powerful. Adding to this, eye contact is another game changer. Holding eye contact, especially while speaking to somebody, creates an instant connection. The key is to strike a balance. You don't want to stare people down and make them feel uncomfortable, but avoiding eye contact entirely can make you seem nervous and unsure of yourself. Studies actually show that people who hold eye contact are perceived to be more likable and more trustworthy. It's about giving just enough to show that you are fully present in the moment, but not too much that you creep people out. And then there's the power of a genuine smile, a thing that a lot of people need to do more often. The thing is, people pick up on authenticity, and a genuine smile can change the entire tone of an interaction before you've even said a word. I'm talking smiling with your eyes, not just your mouth, because people can tell when a smile is forced. Now, this doesn't mean you need to walk around grinning all the time, but at the right moment, a sincere smile can not only make you seem more approachable and more warm, but also more memorable. Speaking of subtlety, even small gestures like nodding can make a difference in how others perceive your warmth. When listening to someone, a slight nod signals that you're paying attention. It signals that you're engaged. It's as if you're saying, I hear you and I'm with you. Paired with slightly leaning in during a conversation, these movements show that you are invested in what the other person is saying. It's subtle, but it reinforces the connection. People feel comfortable opening up when they know that you're fully present in the moment. Now, let's talk about the broader role of nonverbal communication. Researchers have found that how you say something, your tone, your expressions, your body language, matters so much more than the words that you actually choose to say. In fact, a significant portion of how others perceive us is actually shaped by nonverbal cues. This means that even if you're not speaking, the way you stand, the way you move, or even a gesture is constantly communicating messages to those around you. I have a full video breaking down verbal and nonverbal forms of communication, so if you want to watch that next, I will leave it linked in the description below. Once you start practicing these small adjustments, something happens. Not only do others start seeing you differently, but you also start feeling more confident naturally. When you walk into a room, standing tall, phone in your bag, carrying yourself with a calm energy, meeting other people with warmth, you're projecting confidence and other people pick up on it. And the best part is you're not trying to dominate the room, you're not being loud, you're not trying to outperform anyone. It's just about owning your space and making other people feel comfortable in it. That combination is magnetic and people want to be around it. Now, one of the setbacks that some people do face is just thinking that they need to be loud in order to be charismatic, but you don't. Charisma isn't about being the biggest personality in the room, it's about the energy that you leave behind when you interact with other people. How you carry yourself says a lot before you even begin speaking. 1. Nonverbal communication to be unforgettable without even saying a word. 2. Having a life that is interesting and unique for when you do say words. And 3. Being interested in other people in a genuine way so that you don't say too many words. So in summary, becoming interesting isn't about changing who you are, it's about choosing curiosity, connection, and growth. Small intentional steps, as always, like asking meaningful questions, practicing confident body language, or trying something that is outside of your current comfort zone, can completely reshape how other people see you and how you see yourself. So this week, I want you to choose one skill from today's video to focus on. Maybe it's remembering little details in a conversation that you have with someone new. Maybe it's really being present and focusing on warmth and eye contact when you are talking to somebody, or maybe it's saying yes to a new experience. Make the decision of what that is and start now, because you'll notice how deeper your connections feel. And remember, the most interesting life is the one that you build intentionally. All right, if you enjoy content like this, then please consider subscribing, as it really helps support this channel. And if you enjoyed this video, then you will really enjoy this one next. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.